Welcome back. We're going to get you guys our doubles lineups today. On court one, we've got Pavel Model and Stein Slump. They're taking on Alexa Lazarevich and Melker Isaksen. On court two, we've got Tom Moon and Chris Edge, a familiar duo. They're 4-2 together. They're facing Legal Perez and Rasmussen. And then on court three, we've got Francisco Rocha and Max Rausch facing on Nam Pham and Shu.
Yep, exciting stuff right there.
Excited to see Tom and Chris back at it.
Yeah, that 4-2 record's pretty impressive so far.
You know, the first tennis match that I ever covered came down to last court, and it was Edge who had an ace to finish it out. That was probably my top highlight that I've gotten so far, was him finishing off that round. So he had a quick impression on me for sure.
Definitely.
Doubles-wise, we've got a pretty good team for doubles. I know Tom's mainly a doubles player. You're looking at his just this season, he's been with Edge each time, and like I said earlier, they're 4-2 together. And we've got Rocha back in. He's 4-3 in doubles. He's a good player. He had Conference USA Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Was it last week or we had Blue Raiders back to back. He was him and the Czech Assassin. Blue Raiders are getting ready out there. We're about to head into the national anthem here soon. And then our Blue Raiders will take court, and we can get this thing rolling. I'd say my biggest look ahead is for Moonen and Edge. If they can get a quick win, it'll get a little bit of energy off of the other guys and let them finish up.
Important that doubles point is. Just going in and having that doubles point right off the bat really just sets you up for singles matches as well. And that's really the most important part. So starting out with doubles, it is very important, and hopefully Moonen and Edge will take another win there. And Rocha and Rauch, are they who's playing together with those two? Are they together?
Rocha and Rauch, yep.
Yeah, and I hope that they'll take a win as well. I think they're likely to. I think they're all likely to, but we'll see.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good team when it comes to doubles in our matchups.
We're 11-7 right now, I believe, with doubles.
Last time at home against Rice, which was our only Conference USA matchup of the year so far, we took it, and we were falling behind in doubles. And they were able to come back and take the doubles point, and that helped out massively later on in the night.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you can get that doubles point.
You think doubles is harder or it's easier, but for me, I think doubles is such a harder game because you're not just worried about yourself. You got to learn how to play with your opponent. You have to work out a system between the two of you because, you know, the court's it's not as big as it looks. So, and figuring out your strengths and your weaknesses between the two and making sure that you can be there for each point is really important. And I think that MTSU does a great job.
Yeah, watching these guys play, we're going to go ahead and take a short break for this national anthem, and we'll be back just shortly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MTN Sports coverage of Blue Raider tennis on CUSA.tv. I'm Will Stevenson here with Sarah Ottman. We're getting started here for doubles.
Yep, just sang the national anthem, and we're getting out to the courts right now. And about to get started with doubles play. As you can see right now, looking at court one, and on court one we have, let me see right here.
Stein and Pavel.
Yep, Stein, Slump, and Pavel Motel. I think they're going ahead and getting started right now with this match. And that was a double fault right there from Illinois State.
For those watching, we can see Stein there on the left receiving and Pavel on the right.
And MTSU is at the top of your screen right now. In the blue, of course.
They get a nice start out on this game right here.
An easy point starting right off that double fault.
You know, something that you mentioned earlier, talking about, you know, the players riding off each other for doubles. What I noticed with this team is every time that I'm down there watching them, as soon as they make a fault or as soon as they mess up, they make sure to look straight to the other one, and they own up to it. And the other one makes sure not to let them live it down. They let them know, because these points are important.
Let's talk about that shot right there, that down the line doubles alley point with both Illinois State at the net. It's a beautiful shot right there. They left that spot wide up in the open. An easy point for the Blue Raiders.
You can see there on the right, Coach Borndame starting off watching today's match on court one. He bounces quite a bit. He likes to see all of his guys play.
Yep, he sure does. Oof. And I do believe that's game for the Blue Raiders. So they just broke Illinois State right there. An easy game, a quick one too. Starting out, so we might want to go check out court number 3 right now, where we are seeing Francisco Rocha and Max Rauch playing Namfan and Ming Chu.
These Blue Raider celebrations, they let you know when they score. They
and
let you know.
It's important, you know. That energy really helps you play. You gotta get your energy up when you get those points and live in it a little bit. MTSU's receiving the serve right now. And that one might have been a little long. It's hard to tell from our screen here.
For those watching, we've got Max Rauch on the left, Francisco Rocha on the right.
A good doubles pair right now with a pretty good record.
Just
out right there. Quick reflexes right there from Rauch not hitting that shot, because sometimes, you know, you never know if it's going to be in or out, but he waited and made sure that it was indeed out, getting them that point. And here we are back at court number 1.
Now we have a report coming in here in just a moment from our reporter, Zachary Lone.
What do you have for us, Zachary?
Hey, so on court number 3, Max and Francisco just went up a break. They went down 30-15, won 2 straight points. Then it got back to deuce for the deciding point, and then Illinois State Redbirds shot just went a little long, so they took that break point.
Awesome. Yeah, we just got to see that last point there. It was a good game.
Now we got Stein
Zachary
serving. Out of any
double
player
fault.
out here, you can hear when Stein serves. He lets it all come in.
Yeah, definitely. I know that's got to be disappointing, though, a double fault right there and into the net. It's one thing Coach Jimmy has talked about a few times in coach interviews, how of all the shots that he hates the most is a double fault into the net. Ooh, what a great volley play right there from Pavel Motl.
Those quick reflexes playing in for that volley, being right next to the net.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to really trust your guy behind you,
Oh,
that
yeah,
if it
for
gets
sure.
by you, he's going to be there to back you up.
Mm-hmm. And Stein was ready for those shots, you know. If Motl wasn't able to get there, he was going to be ready.
What a slam there.
Wow.
Looked just a little long.
Yeah, it looked a little long. I'm not.
See Borendame now heading over
Mm-hmm.
to take an eye on Tom Moonen and Chris Edge over there on court 2, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we have another report coming from our sideline reporter, Zachary. What do you have for us now, Zachary?
Yeah, so back on court number 2, after Tom and Chris, they went up that break. They went up 40-30 and then lost 30-40, then lost the next 2 points and lost that in a deuce. So that matchup on court number 2 is back to 1-1 on serve.
Nice. Thank you, Zachary.
Stein giving a little motivation to Pavel there
Mm-hmm.
as he's set to receive.
That's a strong serve from the Redbirds right there. I do believe it might have been a little bit out. Nope. It was in. It was an ace right there.
Tell me a little bit about what that's like, getting a stronger serve coming at you and having to suppress that power to be able to keep it in play on the return.
Returning a powerful serve like that, I mean, I couldn't even tell you how they do it. It's so much power, but I mean, they're all powerful players. So, and returning a powerful serve is less about returning it powerfully and more about being able to just get it over the net, which these players are pretty good at.
Yeah, and they definitely do bring the speed. For the MT players, those serves are coming in upwards of 120 miles an hour, some of them hitting that 130, 140 mark.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of speed coming at you.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to be the one returning it, that's for sure. Turn goes into the net there. I do believe they may have lost that match right there.
It looks
might
like
have been
they
the game point.
Looks like they let that strong start slip. Hopefully they can adjust that and bring it back.
Definitely. We might want to come back to court number 3 right here.
Oh.
And there you saw it. That one gotta hurt right there.
No one's safe on the courts. Oof.
Oh.
At the end of the day, though, it's just a chuckle and get on to the next next hit.
It's one of the scary parts about being up the net. You never know when a ball is going to come flying at your head.
Oof.
Pretty serve right there. from the Redbirds.
Looked like Max trying to return that. Let it come a little high, pulled it just a little bit. Now Coach Borendame going in there giving a little bit of advice.
And that one's out from there.
We've got Zachary Lone back with another report. Zachary, what do you have for us?
So another break on court number 2. The Illinois State double fought away deciding point, and now MTSU's up a break. So Tom and Chris are up that break, ready to serve.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, that shot just hit the net right there. It's got to be disappointing, and I do believe that was game.
It's a nice little setup. They hit a drop shot back to MTSU, and they had to handle that return, and caught him on the volley.
There. Yep. Now we're back at court number 1. It's a beautiful little net play rally right there. End up going in the Redbirds' favor, but some impressive playing on both sides right there.
The Redbirds know they're coming into a matchup where they're not favored, and they know that they've got to be aggressive, so they're coming out offensive.
Their A game for sure.
They're getting up to the net. They know there's a risk to that, but if you don't start ahead, it's going to be hard to take over a team like Middle Tennessee.
Definitely. Nice volley right there, cross-court volley for MTSU, giving them that point.
Coach C heading out there to Pavel and Stein out there. Give them a little bit of coaching before their next game.
Serve is a little bit long right there. I do believe that second serve was in, and the point went to MTSU, but I could be wrong. It's hard to see right here, but
Court 1 MTSU is up 2-1. I can see on the scoreboard just to my right. That'll be Pavel serving. They couldn't suppress the speed. There it goes, just long.
A beautiful serve right there. And that just means that MTSU held their serve right there and won that game. Now we're switching over to serving the Redbirds. I think that serve was a little long.
The Blue Raiders do head out on the road after this matchup, but they need to get through this one first. They're on a pretty impressive stand at home. As Stein gives them the advantage there. It's a pretty important game because the Blue Raiders are 21 straight wins at home.
Know.
And that dates back to the 2018 season.
Pretty impressive streak going on right now. I hope they're able to keep it up today. That serve is just a little bit wide there. What a gorgeous volley right there.
And we've got Zachary Lone back for another report. Zachary, what do you have for us?
So station on court 2, Tom and Chris just dominated the last 2 games. One, the break going up 40-15 and ended up taking that game. So now they are serving up 2 breaks with that score 4-1.
Awesome. Thank you, Zachary.
Up 4-1. It looks like they're making quick work of them out there on court 5.
Definitely.
Court 3, it looks like, just got tied up to 2-2. Of course, on court 3, we've got Rocha and Rauch. They were behind 1-2, so it's nice to see us getting back into that tied
definitely.
position. Oh, what an effort to try to get back to that.
That was such a hustle right there. Didn't end up working out in his favor, but you got to give him props for that hustle.
Had to run clear across the court, and that's on doubles. That's a larger court. That's a lot of space to cover in that much time.
Definitely.
I notice this is a pair of lefties going up on court 1 against our Blue Raiders.
They're both lefties?
Let's
It's
see.
going to be interesting to play against. Wow.
What a slam.
What an overhead shot slam right there. Reaching high above their heads. Unable to hit that one back.
Which slams, those are your most difficult shots, because for the height that you have to recover.
And the power to give them that bounce, it's definitely a hard shot. But we've seen already 2 of them today, so Blue Raiders must have been practicing those shots.
And there it is.
Game right there for the Blue Raiders. If we could head on over to court number 3 and get a little bit of action right there with Francesco Rocha and Max Rauch, see how they're doing right now.
We are tied up on this court at 2-2.
Receiving the serve.
The Blue Raiders have been, pretty powerful at doubles this year. They've won 4 of the 7 matches that they've had at doubles. Ooh. How did he get to that?
Wow. That was a nice rally right there, and got to give props to the Redbirds right there for that powerful overhead cross court. I saw that one coming, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen. It's so hard to get to those shots. Here we are back at court number 1.
Stein on the serve.
Easy point for MTSU there with that volley by Pavel Model down the center of the court. It's a great shot right there.
That's what you risk when you're rushing the net like that. If
Definitely.
it gets by you, you got to deal with that loss.
Yeah, those down the line shots. It's hard to see when they're coming, but if you can pull them off, they're almost always a great shot. We do apologize for the quality of the camera over here, but right now you're looking at court 2 with Tom Moonen and Chris Edge receiving this serve.
For those watching, that's
and
Tom on the right.
That point right there, what a beautiful shot. And I do believe that is the match right there. So we have our first win on court number 2, giving us that first doubles point, which is always such a great thing.
Our next closest is court 1, which that's where we're back at now, where we've got Pavomodl and Stein Slump. They're up 4-1 right now. Let's see if they can close out and give the Blue Raiders that doubles point.
Ooh, another double fault right there from Stein.
Stein's put quite a few in the net so far on the serves. Hopefully he can get that adjusted when it comes to singles play.
Caught a few double faults, that we've seen Stein do. You know he's got to be frustrated right now. But hopefully he doesn't let that get the best of him.
What a reflex.
Wow. Talk about Pavomodl at the net right there. His net play is spectacular today and really impressive with those really far cross-court volleys. He's very persistent with them as well.
And there it is.
There we go. So now the score for this game that you're watching right now on court number 1 is 5-1. So only one more game and they have that doubles point right there.
Couldn't quite get it over the net right there. He had a lot of speed coming at him.
Oof.
While we have the score at 5-1 on court 1, court number 3 is looking at 3-3.
Closer match right there. Been pretty consistently tied. It's a good shot for MTSU.
We saw just a moment ago the director of athletics for MT Athletics, Chris Massaro, is in attendance.
Yeah, we've got a big crowd today at Adams Tennis Complex. I mean, as big as you can be with COVID.
Capacity because the ATC starts rocking when the home matches come around.
Definitely.
But that 10% capacity, I'm sure
I'm
they're
missing
just
the
glad to
food.
have fans back in.
Definitely. And that shot's in right there.
What a great hit by Stein.
Lob right there. high over their heads. And you just saw them trying to see if that shot was going to go out or if it was going to stay in, and it did. It stayed in.
Looked just a
Shot was
little long on the serve.
A little long.
And the double fault.
And that's match
is
right
it.
there. Our second win for the doubles.
Blue Raiders take it.
Blue Raiders take that doubles point.
6-1.
Wow. So now we'll try to find out if that last match on court number 3 is going to retire or if they're going to continue playing it out. And as of right now, they are continuing to play.
As players, you'd hate to end it on a tie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because, you know, even if you've already lost that doubles point, doesn't mean you're giving it any less of your all. To have to stop is just...
You can see the excitement still there for the Redbirds. So that makes it 5 of the Blue Raiders' 8 doubles appearances taking that doubles point.
So now that record for Chris Edge and Tom Moonen is up to 5-2.
5-2, yep.
It's pretty impressive.
For those who don't know, we had the women's Blue Raider tennis team out playing Baylor today. We've got Zachary on the sideline. He's going to give us a little update on how those women did. Zachary, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so that match is still in progress, but Middle Tennessee State has already won that match. They're up 5-1, winning the doubles point with Lee Bernard and Lydia Burrows winning 6-1, and Lufsar Alexis and Muskan Gupta winning 6-4. And then in the women's, Lydia, Zani, Muskan, and Lufstar all won their singles matches, and the only match that we dropped was Lee Bernard, and she lost in a third set tiebreak 10-6.
Wow. That's good to hear. I always love to see our Lady Raiders doing well. What a long match right there, though. 3 sets.
With that win, the Lady Raiders will be back in action. That was Butler, my apologies. They'll be back in action against Ball State tomorrow. Still on the road. That'll be a 2 o'clock game. And then they're back home against Chattanooga on the 20th. And we'll have that live play-by-play for you on the 20th.
Sure will. That shot was just a little bit out right there by the Redbirds, giving that point to MTSU. Working at a score of 4-3 right now. So the Blue Raiders are up a game. Another good shot right there for MTSU.
The Blue Raiders, technically still the reigning Conference USA champions from where the season was canceled because of
COVID,
safety on COVID. And they've only had one conference matchup this year so far, being Rice, and that was a close matchup, taking 4-3. But we don't see them in conference action again until April 3rd. That'll be against UAB. And right now on the schedule, that's the only other conference matchup that we have.
I have to pause right now to compliment that volley right there. What a beautiful shot from, I do believe that was Max Rauch at the net. Ooh, an ace right there.
Across the entire court there for Rauch.
Yep, that was the game right there. You saw that ace giving him that final point. Now the score is up to 5-3. Only need one more game to give us a score of 3-0.
For those joining us now, the Blue Raiders have already taken the doubles point, but they're going to be playing out there on court 3. Those wins coming from Tom Moonen and Chris Edge, as well as Stein Slump and Pavel Model.
Was out a little bit long.
And the double fault. You can see even though the point's already there, you still get all the Blue Raider support, all of them lined up there on the top left of your screen, watching their guys finish out.
That shot was a little bit long as well. And that point going to MTSU there. Redbirds were just a little bit out of the lines, that in the air shot. I believe that serve is out, but what a powerful serve. And there it is, the final game and the final win for the doubles point. MTSU takes all 3 doubles matches with a win. Wow.
Those being 6-1, 6-1, and 6-3. In that order from 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And that moves Moonen and Edge's combined record together to 5-2. And that also puts Moonen at 86 doubles wins on his career. And
Wow.
He's at the number 6 rank right there. He's getting pretty close. He's getting to 94 is where he needs to pass to move up on that list.
Well, that's pretty exciting. He's very close.
We're going to go ahead and take a short break, and when we return, we'll have our singles matches. You're watching Blue Raider Tennis on CUSA.TV. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MTN Sports coverage of Blue Raider tennis on CUSA.TV. We are getting into the singles, and we've got our lineups coming in. On court 1, we're going to have Tom Moonen going against Nam Pham. Court 2, Stein Slump against Melker Isaksen. Court 3, we'll have Francisco Rocha versus Diego Legal Perez. Court 4, be Chris Edge and Bodaful Ruiz. Court 5 will be Max Rausch and Ming-Che Shu. Court 6 will have Oscar Michalek versus Mike Agee. Oscar came in place of Pavel Model, who was supposed to be on court 6, but after seeing how doubles went, they made that change, getting their guy a little bit of time in.
A little bit more time on the courts.
And Oscar is, I think, he is ranked at number 102. Of eligibility at the NCAA gave all the players with the COVID suspension. He's able to come back and give them a 5th year and get these guys, you know, some familiar faces in leadership.
Definitely. Yeah, we've got 2 grad students as well. I do believe Max Rauch is also a grad student, and so is Oscar Michalek. So 3 grad students.
Athlete of the week, because we're going to court 1 here with Tom Moonen. Saxon's the Summit League Athlete of the Week coming off of their win against UIC, which was their first win of the year. You see the power in Tom bringing it up to that freshman. But he drops. We've got Zachary Lone here with the quick report. Zachary, what do you have for us?
So on court number 2, Stein Slump went up a break and now is up 2-0. And then on court 6, Oscar Michalek went up a break as well, and he's up 1-0.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're here on court 1. That consistent backhand from Tom, getting him that point.
Just a little bit out from the Redbirds there. From Nam Pham. ace right there from Tom Moonen. What a powerful serve. Such great topspin as well.
We put Tom's serve up to the test last semester in our show for MTN Sports, Blue, Red, or Extra Point. We have a segment in there where we put one of our guys, Houston Chapman, up against these Division I athletes to show their power and, you know, their skill at their craft. And Houston plays tennis every now and then, and that was something for him to handle, seeing how fast that ball was coming in.
Oh, goodness, yeah. They go really fast. They've got some really, I mean, these guys are working out as a team every week.
And he's got some trickery in there, too. Houston stands at just about 6'4", 6'5", and Tom brings a kick serve that goes right over his shoulder. It was fun being out there to see him off the playing field and being able to have some fun and see they're practicing.
That was 2 shots in a row that Tom was able to secure 2 points. I mean, from Namfam hitting those shots into the net, not being able to get those volleys over the net.
We're heading over to court 2 now, where we've got Stein Slump going against Melker Isaacson. Isaacson, that Summit League Player of the Week.
And another freshman.
Second-year freshman, of course. He did play last year, but got that extra extension on his. Instead, we're going to go to court 3. They went to break on court 2. Stein went up 3-0 on Isaacson. Tom up 3-0 on Pham. And now on court 3 of Francisco Rocha. We've got them tied up at 1-1. You can see the Redbird taking the serve. It's Diego Legal Perez serving to Francisco Rocha. And here for you again with another report, we've got Zachary Lone. Zachary, what do you have for us?
So on court number 2, Stein is dominating up those 2 breaks now, up 3-0 and serving. And then on court number 6, Oscar Michalek ended up giving that break back on a very questionable call that the ball was right on the line, but the Illinois State player actually called that one out, and that gave him the break. But Oscar turned around and broke him right back, so now he's up 2-1 and up that break.
Awesome. Thank you, Zachary.
How often did you ever have to deal with those questionable calls when you were playing?
I tell you, in college, they've even got it better than you do when you're in high school because we don't have handy-dandy line judges there. So there's a lot of questionable shots that happen in tennis. And, you know, it really goes to play because it's a lot about integrity in the game of tennis and, you know, calling shots as they are. But you'll come across very many players that will call shots out that are clearly in, and it's very frustrating as an opponent.
Just a little too much oomph on that one. Goes a little long.
It's court number 3, I do believe, is 1-2 right now. Giving those Redbirds that advantage.
Now here we are on court 2 with Stein Slump serving to Melker Isaacson. Now Isaacson may be a freshman out there, but he's still a nice size to him. He's 184-pound freshman standing at 6'4". He's got a 13-3 singles record. And in his homeland of Sweden, he was the 9th rank out there.
Wow.
And he was ranked 12th for the UTR rankings.
Pretty impressive.
You can see why they put him at such a high court.
Mm-hmm. Oh, a few double faults we're seeing today from Stein Slump. We saw a few in the doubles match. We're seeing them again here in the singles.
And all into the net, too.
Yeah. See Coach Jimmy's on the side watching this match play out. No, he can't be too happy about those double faults. Another double fault right there. That's 2 points in a row that we've lost due to double faults, and that was the game, actually. Correct myself. So Stein just had his serve broken by Melker, due mostly to double faults there.
Looks like we've got Zachary here with another report. Zachary, what do you got?
So breaks are coming left and right tonight, guys. So on court number 5, actually, Max is now up 2 breaks, and that match is 3-0. And then on number 4, Chris just got broken, is now down 1-3, and the Redbirds are serving. But then going to court number 1, Tom is up 2 breaks. So that one is 4-0 with Tom serving.
Nice. Thank you, Zachary.
Stein returning.
One's just a little bit out.
Looks like Melker has quite a bit of speed on that serve.
Mm-hmm.
Stein was in trouble there. Oof. Almost had a great recovery.
And ran up to the net. Ended up not going in his favor right there, a little bit long. Hopefully Stein is able to pull this one around. Right now he seems to be in a little bit of a rut. Those double faults are probably getting to him from last game.
Sent that one to the sky. What a great return.
That one's just a little bit out into the doubles alley.
That's really going to help Stein out there.
Yeah. Finally got one of those points in his belt.
Stein just a little bit outsized in this one for the underclassmen.
Surprising.
There he goes right there, getting his energy back.
Nice shot there from Melker. You can tell the Stein Slump was expecting that shot to be across court, but he ended up hitting it right back in that same spot down the line.
Stein was the winner of the 2019 Conference USA Freshman of the Year.
He's a great player. Signature for his loud grunts.
Yeah, you can hear him when he's playing. He lets you know when he's on serve for sure.
Definitely. Just got that point right there, giving him that game. Thankfully.
The 2020 ITA Scholar athlete taking that point.
And here we are on court number 1. Tom Moonen is up 5-0, receiving that serve right here. Could be the final game of the first set.
And man, what a 6-0 win would do on the first court for MTSU.
Definitely.
They've already got the
Great.
doubles point. But with them playing out that doubles, if it comes to a quick match, I wonder if they allow the rest to play out.
They
For
just
singles.
might. They've been, most of the time here at Adams, they've been letting all the those games finish out if they have the time to, because it really is important for both teams to just gain that extra practice and get those stats under their belts.
That's where you got to hear you get. You got to consider both coaches' views. You know, for MTSU, they've got a really rough, couple of matches coming up. Really big teams that they need to take wins on, especially if they're searching for another national ITA ranking as a team. Last time seeing them ranked at number 28.
A little too powerful right there.
That was last year before the season was called off. Fam last year stayed at the number 5 and number 6 position primarily.
Surprising having to have someone who plays at the number 5 and 6 playing up against Tom Moonen here.
But there may be a little bit of strategy to that, having somebody who isn't as experienced playing those higher courts going into a player that they know is so star-studded. He gets a nice slam there on Tom.
He did. It went way over his head, and Tom gave it his all trying to get there, but I don't think there was any way possible to hit that one back. And you're right. And, playing someone who's better than you really does help you improve as a player. And you do play better when you play someone who is better. And that may be the strategy here today for NamFam, just to get that experience playing such a better. Such a higher ranked player.
And such a bigger player, too. Moonen is a 6'2". Solid player. Fam getting another great hit back on Moonen.
Yeah, right.
Fam stands at only 5'6".
Wow.
He's a much smaller player, so.
Hey, he's playing really well right now. I think that was 2 or 3 points in a row that went to Nam. I do believe we've got another report coming in from our sideline reporter, Zachary. What do you have for us, Zachary?
So on court number two, Stein went up yet another break, now serving at 4-1. And you're watching Clinic on court number 1 and also on court number 5 as you're watching Tom dominate that. One, and then on number 5, Max is up 5-0. He is up
Nice.
3 breaks, serving for the set.
Wonderful. News. Thank you, Zachary. So we're getting close to finishing out. Sets on 3 of our courts right now. Just 1 game away on 2, and for Stein, only 2 games away. A quick first set, I must say.
Looks like Oscar gets the break on court 6, and he's now serving 3-2.
And Tom Moonen just got that point right there.
And Max dominating on court 5 also. He's got the serve up 5-0. It did look quite long right there.
Nice ace right there by Tom.
You know, these are two business students going up against each other.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Fam studying international business, and Tom going after his master's degree because of his return with his extra year of eligibility in business and finance.
Another powerful. The power that Tom Moonen has is just amazing to watch, and his form and that topspin as well, just launching off of his racket onto that other side.
Edge gets the break back and is now on his serve. He is 3 and 4 on his court. And that's 3 and 5 now.
There's a little bit out right there from Tom.
Edge facing Lazarevich on court 4.
Another great serve from Tom. Return not even being able to get over the net. And I do believe that was the first set for Tom Moonen, so he gets our first official set win for today's singles matches. And now I do believe we're close for a few other matches. We're on court 4 right now. Chris Edge up against Paul Beautiful Rios.
And he's down a break, now 3 and 5, 3 to 5.
So this one's a little bit closer than the match we were watching just a second ago with Tom Moonen. That shot was just a little bit out. Court 5 has just won their first set, 6-0. Max Rauch getting our second set win for the Blue Raiders.
Edge needs to have a break here just to stay in the set.
I'm interested to see how how Chris Edge is going to finish out this match here, or this set. If he will be able to break the serve right here.
Also on court 5, looks like Max took that first set. For those watching, we've got Chris Edge there on the far side. Edge returning from Alexa Lazarevich, the Serbian junior, on the serve. That two-handed backhand gives you just a little bit more power.
Oh, just a little bit out, a little bit long. Powerful rally back and forth there. Forehand and backhand. Cross court was basically the same shot over and over.
Yeah, they're just going back and forth and back and forth, with each other breaking each other.
pretty consistent. They're pretty equally, I'd say, pretty equally matched opponents, playing a pretty similar game.
He had the advantage there, but
Chris Edge took a chance right there and ran up to the net to try to break that cycle of back and forth, but it bit him in the end, and he wasn't able to get that one over the net.
looks like Oscar on court 6.
It's 5-2.
Just moved to 5-2. And he's on the serve.
We'll take a look at that right after this, or that point right there where Paul Ruas wasn't able to hit that shot. Kind of hit, it stood in the air. He wasn't able to hit it against Chris Edge here, but.
And you're seeing Mike Agee for the Redbirds on the close side of your screen. And on the far side, Oscar Michalek. Of course, this court 6 changed lineups after the doubles from where it was going to be Pavel Model versus Ming She Shu, but is now Oscar versus Mike Agee.
Shot in the net there from Mike, giving that point to Oscar Michalek. You can tell Oscar Michalek is getting pumped about possibly taking his first set right here with this game. That one was just a little bit long. And a great second serve that was caught in the net once again from Mike there.
And net's catching a lot of victims today.
It sure is.
We've got Zachary here with another report. Zachary?
So I am back, guys. So on court number 4, Chris Edge gets that break back. So now it's 5-4, so they're back to on serve. So he's down 5-4, has to win this game to make it 5-5 and potentially break to try and go ahead and serve for that set. But then on court number 5, it looks like, yeah, so we dropped court number 5.
That court number 5 is Max Rauch, who's been playing from behind since the start, unfortunately. And it looks like that's it. On court 6, Oscar wins that one 6-2.
So
my apologies on that.
First set win right there.
My apologies on that call earlier. Max Rauch did not fall behind.
Max Rauch had already won his first set, if I am correct.
He
He's
is
already
up.
on his second set right now.
And up 1-0.
And up 1-0. So that's 3 players right now who have won their first set, which is a great sign. We're looking good right now for MTSU with that doubles point, and now 3 first set wins. And talk about a great shot right there from Stein Slum.
Right in the corner, right by the service line. Stein gets the quick win there out of a double fault.
I do believe Francisco Rocha just lost his first set, 2-6. So
And that is on court
the
3.
Redbirds were able to take him right there.
Diego Legal Perez takes that one on Rocha. Looking around here in the ATC, seeing all these MT decorations that have been put up within this last year, this place is really starting to look more and more like home for the Blue Raiders.
Oh, definitely. Murals are definitely a great addition.
The big mural at the concession being the newest addition.
Yeah.
A big photo of Tom and Lydia.
Yeah, it's a great piece right there. Wish you guys could see it right now, but right now we're going to go over to court number 4. Chris Edge receiving this serve right here.
I talked to Coach Jimmy just a couple of days ago about that mural of Tom there on the concession wall. And it's quite a large mural. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out on the men's tennis social media. But he made sure that Tom knew that he wouldn't be leaving Blue Raider legacy. He'd be staying here for future players to see.
A very powerful shot right there. Into the doubles alley right there from Paul Rios. Chris Edge just might come back right here with this game. And he did. He looks like he won that one.
He definitely needed it.
He did.
He had
Making
quite
that
a comeback.
score. Yeah. And is that score now 5-5 or I can't see the scoreboard where I'm sitting.
In court 4 is 6-5.
Oh, great. So only one more game right there. I think you have to win by 2 in college tennis, so he needs to get up to 7, and then he will take that first set as well.
And he was working from behind, too. He was, I think, down
He was
3 to
down.
5 at one point.
He was, yeah. Right now we're looking at court number 6, Oscar Michalek versus Mike Agee. Mike serving right now.
Mike originally from Atlanta, Georgia.
Great second serve right there. Looks like we've got another report from Zachary. Zachary, what do you have for us?
So now on court number 4, Chris does have that break point back. So he's up 6-5 serving for that set.
Awesome. Thank you, Zachary. Glad to see Chris back up at the top, hopefully taking home this first set after being in a very equally matched, with a very equally matched opponent.
We've got a nice round going here. Oscar's really making Mike run back and forth, but just couldn't keep that one in play.
Yeah, that one goes to Mike. Point from Oscar, hitting that right into the doubles alley. We're going to go over to court
3.
3, Francisco Rocha and Diego Perez.
Coach C giving him a little bit of a rundown on how he needs to come at Perez.
Oof.
And it seemed to have worked right there.
Yeah. was a hard shot to get to right there. But got to give props for Francisco for hustling over, even though it ended up not working in his favor.
Rocha's 3-2 so far in the spring for Blue Raider tennis.
Ooh, what a nice shot there from Francisco. You can tell he's happy about that one. A beautiful cross-court shot that sprung over into the side that wasn't able to be returned.
Letting his boys know exactly what he did right there.
Definitely, you can tell he was proud of that shot, as he should be. I think that one was a little bit long.
And the call did go in Rocha's favor as well.
Yes. That one might have just been a little bit long there. That one was a little bit long as well. I do believe that that shot was called in MTSU's favor. Right there for Francesco Rocha. And we're going to switch over to court number 1. Tom Moonen serving in his second set.
It looks like we've got a word here from Zachary. Zachary, what do you have?
So after bringing down that break on court number 4, Chris Edgeval's all the way back, takes those next 4 games and that set, wins that first set 7-5.
Wow. Awesome. That's really great to hear after seeing that first set, how close it was.
That gives him a big relief.
Yeah, what a comeback. 4 games in a row. Going into that second set with that first set on your back is always so much easier than coming off of a loss and having to play a second set.
Now we're watching Tom Moonen and NamFam here on court 1. Francisco came out swinging after dropping his first set 2-6. He gets an early break in his second set, and he's now up 1-0, and he's on the serve. And that's on court 3.
Yes. It's good to hear there. And Tom is currently up 3-1 in his second set here, as that's the court we're watching right now. So close to finishing out his match.
You know, in the side of FAM, you don't know where you need to improve until you face a stronger, bigger guy like this. So this is a moment where, in his shoes, you get the notepad out, you start taking notes, and you figure out where you need to get better. And I'm sure that's exactly what he's doing.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And he's got to be improving by playing such a better player right now. You can tell he's holding his ground right now. He's hitting some great shots. And although the score may look like it's not much of a competition, you can tell that he still is getting a few points against Tom there. Here we are back at court number 3. Francisco Rocha.
Right over his head.
Ooh.
And he almost got there.
Yeah, it was
a great effort there.
It was a great effort, definitely, from
Perez.
Yeah, Perez. He had him running all over the court, and he was able to get there up until that moment, but some great playing right there.
Last year, Perez went 14-11 in singles play. That was mainly at the number 1 and number 3 position. And, of course, we see him back at the number 3 today going against Rocha.
I do believe that shot might have been a little bit out, giving that game over to Diego. We're going to go back to court number 4, Chris Edge, just coming off of that first set win, now into the second set.
He was working him right there from side to side.
Definitely. Chris is up 2-0. Excuse me. Francisco Rocha is up 2-0. Just a little bit wide right there.
Couldn't keep that one high enough.
The net right there.
Lazarevich there seeing a move up in his courts as well. He normally plays at the number 6 for Illinois State. Can see him up at the number 4 position here. Illinois State got him from Hawaii as a transfer.
Wow. Imagine leaving Hawaii to go to Illinois.
Ooh, that's definitely a temperature change.
Definitely. I don't know if I would be able to do it. It's a nice shot right there from Paul Ruiz. He's able to get that down to the line shot. We're going to switch over to Stein Slump playing on court number 2 against Melker. This one into its second set, with Slump winning that first set. And now the current score is 4-0 in favor of Slump. So close to the end of the match here. Could be our first one to finish out unless Tom beats him to it.
You know, those shots are so difficult when you have to chase. You have to lay your whole entire body out on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear court 5, the excitement coming in for the blue-white. And that score is 2-2.
For Max Rauch.
Oh.
Wow. What a hustle right there from Stein.
And that looked a little long. That hustle paid off.
It was impressive. Some real speed on him.
Yeah, the change of direction was,
Yeah.
he misjudged that first hit,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to change up real quick and
But he
go
saw it
past the
coming.
baseline.
He knew that that shot was going to be deep, so he was quick on his feet and was able to turn around very quickly and get right back to that. And he even had time to spare hitting that shot wasn't even behind his back, but he was able to stand his ground and hit that shot. Very impressive. We're going to go over to court number 6 now. Oscar Michalek against Mike A.G. Our current score being 3-1 for the second set. What a nice shot right there from Oscar. Hitting that net, hitting that shot right up at the net and floating it over there cross court.
That one looked a little long, but they let it play in, and
What about that last shot right there?
that was
that
close.
one in? I think it might have been on the line, but I'm not sure what the line judge called that one in or out. But I do believe that it was in. We're over here on court number 2 now. Back to Stein Slump. See if he can finish out this second set, which I do believe the score is at 4-0 still for that second set.
Can see Coach Jimmy there on the left side.
Called that shot out, I do believe.
Looks like he's got his eye on Chris Edge on court number 4. We're watching Stein here. He's up 4-0 against Melker, and he's able to
right there.
improve that lead.
Net. We're going to head over to court number 4. Chris Edge against Paul Rios. And that score right now is right at 2-1. So Chris Edge just won that last game, bringing him to 2. So that is good for Chris on the ups of that second set.
Blue Raiders are starting to take their lead.
Definitely, we're definitely close on multiple courts. And right now we're watching Francesco Rocha on court number 3. Francesco I do believe he lost his first set, but he is doing well in his second one. 3-1.
And we're going to go ahead and get a word in from Zachary, our field reporter. Zachary, what do you have?
So I have been stationed at court number 2 for this past few minutes, and on court number 2, Stein is now serving for the match up 5-0 after now he is up at 3 break points.
Awesome. It's great to hear. Thank you, Zachary. As I mentioned before, Francesco lost his first set, but now he's already up more games in his second set than he won in his first one, so up 3 games. He's 3 games right now in the second set. I'm receiving this serve. And that net came into his favor right there, giving them that little extra push over the net. Making that a drop shot right there for his opponent, not being able to reach it in time.
That looked
Just
a little
bit.
long.
Yep, a little bit long. We're going to head back over to Stein Slump. We do believe he's about to be serving for the match. 5-0 on his second set. We'll see if he's the first one to take home a win for the singles. Beautiful serve right there from Stein.
We're getting word that Francisco got the break, and he's up 4-1, and he's now on the serve. And that is on court number 3.
Great news for Francisco. Might just win the second set and go into a third set.
I'm sure if Stein gets his win right here for his second straight set, we're going to hear quite the noise from court 2.
I think
And
that
it
one
looks
was
like
out,
that's it.
and that is the first singles win.
You hear the crowd letting him know.
Stein Slump. What an accomplishment for Stein.
So that moves the Blue Raiders up to 2 points for the entire match. All they need is 2 more. We can hear some crowd reaction from behind us.
In court number 1, the current score, which is the court we're watching right now, is 4-3, Tom. And you can tell that NAM fans actually gotten some games on Tom, which is pretty impressive for him. 4-3, they're almost neck and neck right here in the second set.
You love to see the smaller guys going up against those those stronger players and holding their own.
Yeah, and that is definitely what he's doing.
We've got Zachary here with another report. Zachary?
So now I'm stationed at court number 5, where Max has just gone up a break. So that is 4-3 with him serving now.
Awesome.
Thank you, Zachary. Tom having a little trouble closing out on his second set. See there on court 1, the coach for Illinois State, Kleisner, keeping an eye on Pham going against the graduate student, and Tom Moonen.
This might have just been a little bit out.
Tom just a little bit outside there. If he can get that court rounded off, that'll be great news for the Blue Raiders. They'll move up to 3-0. Now we're on a
Courts
dual
1.
cam.
Yeah, we're going to see courts 1 and courts 3. Court 1 being on your left and court 3 on your right. Both of these matches are close to winning that second set. For Tom, it would be for the win of his match, and for Francisco, it would be going into that third set. So 2 wins we definitely want to see. Focusing right now on court number 3. on going into the net.
And that was Rocha there on the far end, with Legal Perez on the close side. It's looking promising for the Blue Raiders right now.
It definitely is.
On another dual cam, we've got court number 1 with Tom Moonen on the left. And on the right, we've got Rocha on court 3. He'll be on your far side.
Is serving right now. Serving for the set.
He is up 5-4. Takes that one easily.
A nice shot there.
He had him so out of position, he didn't even need to slam it. Just had to place it. And that shows you the level head that he has, where a lot of guys, they know that they've got that win right there, but you got to get it back over the net before you get it.
Got to make sure it's actually going to be in, yeah. And if you can take an easy shot, you might as well.
He let the power come out in that one, the net folding almost back over itself. This being his second serve, we might see one of those kick serves here on the left side for Tom. Right in the chest.
Beautiful down the line shot right there. The return that hit the net. Wasn't able to get over that net there.
Looks like we got a break on court 3.
We're going to focus right here on Tom. He's very close to finishing out this match.
Still up 5-4. Serving for his win. We've got Zachary here for the report.
What do you got for us, Zachary?
So on court number 3, Francisco with a powerful overhand ends up winning that set. So now he wins that second set 6-1. So they're now heading to that all-important third set.
Wow. Great news. Thank you. Hustle right there from Tom, and I do believe that shot was in right on the line. We'll see if he's able to bring out this win in this game for Tom, which I hope he is. We're going to do another dual screen. And Francisco Rocha coming into that third set. He's got to be tired right there.
We're hearing some reaction from the crowd.
We'll head over, check out Tom Moonen maybe on court 1 to see if he can finish out this match right here. Oof, look at that powerful suit. An easy
there it is.
Overhead shot right there. A little moment of defeat right there for Namfam. But a great match. Great play from Namfam, especially being that younger freshman player against our grad student, Tom Moonen.
He took 4 points on him. That's
4 games, and that's an accomplishment right there in itself. But that's our first win right now for MTSU singles.
Our second, actually.
Oh,
that moves them up to 3-0.
Who else won their match already? Stein.
We had Stein on
you're
court
right.
2.
My apologies. Stein did take the first win. He did. He did it very fast.
Now the Blue Raiders only 1 point away from securing the win today against Illinois State. And this is only the first matchup in Tennessee for Illinois State. They face Vanderbilt tomorrow. Ed is going to call that one was out. It's nice being able to see the kids back out here at ATC watching the highest level of tennis.
Definitely. It's a full crowd here, fuller crowd than normal. Giving a little bit more encouragement.
Got court 5 on the right there, court 4 on the left. Court 5 being Max Rauch going up against Bodeful.
And court 5 is in its second set, up 5-4. Mm. And Chris Edge is tied right now 3-3 in that second set. As we said before, we know Chris Edge's opponent is very equally ranked. It's a very close match right now.
Rocha over on court 3 in their third set now. They're still looking for who's going to get the first point in that set. Max's excitement there being heard. That gives him the win, and that gives the Blue Raiders the win for the night.
Great news. I do believe they'll probably finish out these matches, but
4-0
we'll
for right
see,
now.
But I don't think that they'll retire any of these matches.
With it being such a quick win, they're gonna let it play on.
We've got time today. No matches after this one, so. But yeah, great news for MTSU tennis right now. We just took another win, keeping our consecutive streak of home game wins.
That's just an hour and 45 minutes of play for the Blue Raiders to secure the win against the Redbirds.
Yep, and here we are, dual screen again with Francesco Rocha on your left side, court number 3, and Chris Edge on your right side, court number 4, and both players on the bottom of your screen.
Edge's frustration being seen there, flying that one in the opposite direction.
I think we're going to head over to court number 6 to see Oscar Michalek facing Mike Agee again.
And for court 6, it looks like if he can get a break here, then he'll take the win. He's up 5-3 on Mike's serve.
That's a nice rally right there. You know, Oscar Michalek has some really great placing on that court. You know, he was deciding where that ball was going to go. Great rally from both players.
He's in the top 125 for ITA for a reason. He's got some skill to him.
Definitely.
You love to get to see a player that caliber work his way into the lineup every now and then to see, you know, where he matches in a Division I college game.
Yeah.
So we love to see him.
He's very close to taking that win, another win. Now we're looking at court 3 and court 6. So court 3 being on your left side, court 6 on your right. Francesco Rocha is serving right now.
So that'll move the Blue Raiders record to 5-3. That's only one conference matchup win, but they're still undefeated in the conference with it only being one win. As these other courts are finishing up, those other guys are going to gather up and support their remaining Blue Raiders.
And that point being a little bit long for Mike Agee, giving that point to Oscar. Looks like we may see the end of this match right here with this game.
You know, for this spring play, this January and February here in Middle Tennessee has been a little rough for weather, so having such a nice indoor facility for them to have comfortable matches, it means so much for these guys on you know, the higher level that they play.
Definitely. Very lucky to have such a nice facility. do believe that serve may have been out. I'm unsure exactly if it was in or out for Mike Agee there, but it looked out to me, but we'll see.
We've got court 3 here on the right of your screen. We're remaining at court 6 on the left. And that court 3, that is in the third set, where Rocha has dropped the first, where he was broken for the first.
That shot
Point
into
of
the
that set.
net for Mike Agee, and that is the last game for court number 6. The match going to Oscar Michalek for another win for the Blue Raiders today.
And only one of the 2 players in the Conference USA that are in the ITA rankings for singles. That other player being Maxim Leprel from FAU. Now we're on court 4. On the left and on the right, we've got Chris Edge. Court 3 on the left, my apologies.
And I do believe these are the last 2 matches that we have left playing out right here. Court 3 into their third set. 0-1 right now.
As we're winding up our play for tonight, it looks like Zachary's got another report for us. Zachary, what do you have?
So on court number 3, which is on the left of your screen, Francisco is down a break 1-0.
Perfect.
Thank you, Zachary.
We're rounding up here, it looks like, but we've still got a whole set to play on court 3.
Yeah, in court 4, we're still evenly tied right there with 4-4. This match has been neck and neck this whole time.
It's got to feel good for the Blue Raiders knowing that they're about to head onto the road tomorrow morning, heading out to Indiana to face Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And they're leaving with a win.
Definitely. Give them a little bit of extra confidence going into that match.
Especially after taking a harsh loss against Virginia Tech
Definitely.
recently. And that was a 4-1 final score.
And that shot into the net right there.
Court number 3, Rocha. He's tied up. He was able to get the second break. Now they're tied 1-1. Perez was able to take the break on Rocha in the first point, and Rocha returning the favor. And then we've got on court 4 with Edge and Lazarevic tied at 4-4. That court being on your right side of your screen. Chris Edge being on the far end. For those who may be just joining, MTSU has already clinched the win against Illinois State with a 4-0 win. We're playing out here.
The last 2 matches left, which are both pretty even right now, with a tie on the right side of your screen, 4-4. And a tie on the left side of your screen as well, 1-1 in the third set. going to head over to Francisco Rocha's court number 3, full screen right here so we can focus on this match.
Here in the third set, Rocha has the serve.
Tied. We just had word that Chris Edge took that lead right there, 5-4 now.
He'll be looking to finish his
Hopefully we'll be able to finish out that second set with this next game without having it to go into that third set, hopefully.
And it sounds like he just did it with all that excitement that's coming from Rocha here. Look at the recovery, back and forth. What a great play from Rocha. You can see the excitement. They volleyed back and forth until Perez was not able to get it back over the net. And all the other Blue Raiders there to share that excitement with Rocha, watching from the court beside. We're pretty close to wrapping up play here at the Adams Tennis Complex.
Chris Edge, really close to a win, only one game away at 5-4 right now. Hopefully he's able to get this win right here since it is his serve. Hopefully he'll be able to hold serve and take this match. And I do believe that was it right there on court number 4. Chris Edge takes that win in that second set, 6-4, giving us yet another win, leaving Francesco Rocha, the only man left standing, playing at the last game of the day.
The lone Raider, and the only match to even go into the third set.
Yeah, it is the only one to go into the third set. It was the last 2 games, leaving him 6-4.
As you're looking here, what's your as we're finishing up, what's your take on who the biggest match was for today? Who the biggest matchup was?
Well, I gotta say Chris Edge and his opponent today, they were really evenly matched right there, going back and forth, tied up almost the whole time, and Francisco Rocha having to go into that third set. Those have to be the 2 matches that, really both teams were fighting. But props to Nam Pham, the freshman, getting those 3 wins against Tom Moonen in that second set.
I like seeing the matchups that Stein and Tom had, Stein and Moonen. They, getting those quick wins, just like the doubles point, getting that doubles point earlier. If you can get those points rolling in quicker, it lets all the other guys on the lower courts, start to feel a little bit more relaxed. Let them know that, they've got room for error, and room for error means a lot in competitive sports.
Definitely. That pressure was a little bit lifted from their shoulders, getting those early wins. And, of course, having that doubles point on their side as well. Right now in court number 3, it is 2-1. So Francisco Rocha is up a game. And now receiving.
Just a bit long. Did they call it long?
I'm not sure.
Rocha's reaction made it look like they might have called it the other way.
It could have gone either way. It looked like it could have been in, so it's safe to assume that it was called in.
That one a little bit easier of a call.
Yeah.
Going a little too far.
That one was definitely long right there.
Middle Tennessee up 6-0. Of course, they took that doubles point, and on singles, we had Tom Moonen with the 2-set win, 6-1 and 6-4 over Nam Pham. The second court, Stein Slump taking the win with a 6-2 win in the first set and locked him down on the second set, 6-0. We're watching the third court here with Francisco Rocha versus Perez. Perez was able to take the first set, 6-2. Rocha returned with a 6-1 win in the second, and now they are in the third set where Rocha is up 3-1 with the serve. On court 4, we had Edge with the 7-5 win in the first set and 6-4 in the second.
Powerful shot right there. Down the line shot from Diego Perez. Some words of encouragement from the assistant coach right here.
Continuing those singles results, we had Max Rauch take the win on court number 5, 6-0 on the first set and 6-4 in the second.
And that one was out in the doubles alley.
And on the final court, who was supposed to be Pavel Model, ended up being Oscar Michalek, taking the first set 6-2 and second 6-3. And if Rocha can get this win here, then we'll get a clean sweep for the Blue Raiders victory with a win in doubles and a win in every other category after.
Oof. Just a little bit wide from Rocha right there into the doubles alley. Nice long rally from both sides with some deep baseline cross-court shots.
In the stands, we can see that all the fans have made their way over to the final court for court 3.
Yeah, all eyes are on court 3 right now.
Rocha finish up his third set. What a serve.
An ace right there.
Froze him in his
gotta
spot.
Feel good. It was too fast to even have a reaction.
Was able to keep the slam in and into the net.
He sure does have his opponent running from side to side of that court, wearing him out a little bit for that point. It was definitely a strategy and a good one for Francisco.
The time here in Middle Tennessee is 7:06 as the Blue Raiders are finishing up their play against Illinois State, where they've already clinched the win, winning on 5 of their single courts and winning each of their doubles matchups.
You see Francisco lost a little bit of his power right there in that forehand, not being able to hit it with his usual strength, causing it to go into the net. Oh, a volley into the net there. See the aggravation right there on Francisco's face. And that means he lost that game right there.
That goes to 3-2.
3-2 there.
With Perez able to take the break there on Rocha.
Yeah. That's got to be disappointing right there.
The silence is kicking in at the
It
ATC.
is 3-2 for our final match. And now Rocha will be receiving the serve from Perez. After receiving that win today, but we still have a good few left watching the final match play out to see if Rocha is going to be able to take this final win.
You never know how these tennis matches are going to go. You can get them done really quick. They secured the win with an hour and 45 minutes today, but there are some days where that can come down to the court that we're watching now, that final court.
It sure can.
That's why it's nice to let these guys get these reps into where it's just all eyes on one court and let them get used to finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Into the net there.
Second serve right here. Shot into the net for Francesco, making that love 15. And that shot into the net there. Now we're tied up 15 all.
Your lineup for who's watching, you can see Coach C, the assistant coach for the Blue Raiders, on the right side sitting on the bench, and Coach Kleisner for Illinois State on the opposite side of the official. And on the left side of the court, Jimmy Borendame watching Rocha finish this one out, standing in front of his entire Blue Raider lineup.
Oh, it just barely hits the net right there, giving that point to Francesco. Now I do believe it is 30-15 for MTSU. Another shot into the net there. 40-15 is now the score, making this the game point.
Back and forth play.
A nice long rally here. Consistent, mostly cross-court shots from the baseline. Might have to be
I looked a
something.
little too far, and he got it.
There it is. There's a game right there for Francesco Rocha.
That puts him to 4-2.
4-2 there.
And wins him the serve.
So he broke his opponent right there on his serve, and now he's back at his serve and can hopefully take this match without even having to switch sides again. Whew. This is a nail biter here. was just a little bit wide.
Just let that one go outside of the singles line. Serve from Rocha. He made that
Nice
one a lot
volley
quicker
right
than the
there.
last few.
You know, it pays off to switch things up and run up to the net there. I know it can be a lot more difficult to go up to the net during singles play, but when your opponent and you are rallying so consistently, it's necessary in order to get those points.
You see Coach Jimmy crossing the court to meet up with Coach C there as they watch their last court finish out. He let that one go
out.
just too high. Oh, little slip there, but he makes it back.
Again, look at these long rallies, consistent on both sides.
Such a great matchup between the two.
But what
But
a
he
shot
takes it
right there, Francesco.
just out of Perez's reach.
And the speed on that shot was very impressive, getting it over to that spot so quickly that he wasn't even able to get there in time. And that was an ace right there.
Today's matchup is going to move the Blue Raiders up to 5-3, and move Illinois State to 1-7.
Oof, into the net there on that first serve.
Can hear the kids running around in the ATC. Just out.
And that one was out. And that is the game for another game going to Francisco.
That'll move him to 5-2.
5-2, only one game left.
And if he gets a break here, that'll be it for tennis tonight.
Yep. And you know, he got the break last time. That was 2 games in a row that he just won. Only one more, and he takes that third set. What a long game for both opponents. They have to be tired right now.
I'll tell you what, each one of them have gotten the best of each other. Because that first set going to Perez with a 6-2 win, Rocha knew that he had to adjust his game.
Definitely, and he did. He
Coming
did
back.
adjust. So we're about to go back to court number 3 to
Rocha
see
coming
if
back out.
Rocha is able to take this last game and last match.
Rocha will be here on the close side to your screens.
Receiving the serve. Ooh, into the net there. An easy point for Francesco.
He would have had him in quite a spot if that would have gone over, though.
As I said before, going to the net, it's tricky in singles, but it's definitely the way to win these points, especially in such a game with these long rallies at the baseline.
Rocha only has 2 losses on the season for singles. Those coming at Mississippi State and versus the Hokies this last week.
Shot was just a little bit out there. It's the doubles alley. Making the game score 15 all, I do believe.
Rocha's been at the 3 position each time that he's seen singles play. And that's in each matchup. He's yet to sit one out. Into the net.
Another shot there into the net. Making that score 30-15 for MTSU. Two points away from another match win.
The Blue Raiders have already clinched the win, but with this win, as Rocha takes a little
40-15 now, if I'm correct. Making this the game match set point.
If he's able to take this, that means every Blue Raider has came in and won tonight.
Full sweep.
With his being the only one going into the third, you got to be proud of the Blue Raiders on coming out here and putting their foot on the gas and not letting off.
Definitely. Francisco loses that point right there, bringing the score to 40-30. He's still only a point away from winning this match, but if his opponent is able to win this match, then they will have to go to deuce. And there it is.
Francisco
a win
Rocha.
for Francisco Rocha. And that's a full sweep for the MTSU Blue Raiders.
Takes it over Perez.
7-0.
What an unbelievable performance for the Blue Raiders tonight, taking wins on every doubles court and every singles court, and making quick work too.
Today.
You love to see it. And that's the end of the match. The Blue Raiders take the win. 4-0, ended up being 7-0, but we're going to go ahead and take a short break, and when we return, we'll have the coach's post-game interview with the player of the match. This is MTN Sports, live coverage of Blue Raider tennis on CUSA.TV. We'll be right back. secured the win over Illinois State. And with us now, we've got Coach Jimmy Borendame. Jimmy, thanks for joining us.
We're great. We're glad to see how well the men played today. Only one set dropped. How do you feel about how they played?
Yeah, the boys, they competed well. They came out ready to play. Two doubles jumped out right away, like I was expecting and wanting. And yeah, I'm a happy coach. Looking forward to getting dinner.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Got the job done, so I'm excited.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Coach, I want to ask you, you had Stein and Tom come out with quick wins there on the upper courts. What does that do for the lower courts, for the confidence boost, knowing that they can ease off a little bit to finish out those points?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird match. I didn't feel like we used the crowd really well. It was kind of quiet, and I was a little worried just because, Illinois State University, they're a good team. I told you that we're getting ready for them, but it's not really like it's hard. I had to motivate them to get up for the match a little bit. And, when, a lot of them are thinking about and talking about Notre Dame and going to see Touchdown Jesus. And, I'm like, well, we got to take care of business today for sure. I definitely felt it on Edge's match. Edge was down, I think, 3-5, flirting, I don't know. And then Stein had a game where I thought he went on vacation for a second. He was up 40-15, and he double faulted 3 times in a row.
We caught that one.
And I told him I needed him to tune in. So, but, overall, really strong performance. You can't complain about a 7-0 win.
Definitely not. And about Francisco, how do you encourage a player to keep going strong when you have to go into that third set? He's got to be tired. He's got to be frustrated. What words of advice do you give him?
I was on the other side when they split sets, but Francisco, you see the fire he plays with and the passion he plays with out there on the court. He's never going to go away. Ever, so I don't ever really have to worry about that. Sometimes he's a little bit of a slow starter. His game is really developed, I think, in the past year and a half or so. And so sometimes he reverts back to his old game style of keeping a lot of balls in play. Speak of the devil, here he comes. He's just got to trust his game a little bit. But, he turned it around. He did well. So Callie's usually the old man usually takes the deuce, the even side, and then I let the young guns take the odd. So I'm always on that side. So I haven't been on Brock's court too much, or Francisco's court too much this spring so far.
Awesome. And I want to ask you, we noticed your switch from Pavel on court 6 going to Oscar. You want to tell us a little bit about that switch?
Yeah, we've got a really deep team. And Pavel, he lost on Sunday, but he didn't play badly. He's a really sharp point. Oscar is a phenomenal player as well. We played some practice matches on Wednesday, and I saw some really good tennis again out of Oscar. I felt good. They made a change. One of their guys wasn't feeling great, and Oscar's, he's a 25-year-old graduate student. I feel like he can play a lot higher than 6 if I needed him to, and he put it to him today. He played well.
Coach, you kept us out of the loop for the beginning of the match because you wanted everybody to focus on Illinois State, but you guys came in, got some quick work done, and now you focus your attention into these bigger matchups. Next up being Notre Dame this weekend. Tell us a little about what you're telling your team heading into those bigger matchups. Yeah,
well, Notre Dame's a big one. It's a big one for me. Growing up in Chicago, it's all I wanted. All I wanted to do is play at Notre Dame. Notre Dame football games. We knew, when the game was on, you knew everything. I still probably have my Fighting Irish tennis shirts and whatnot. Let's see. The next couple ones are all really big. Lipscomb is a local team, obviously. They were in the rankings last year. I want to say they were in the 70s, so they're a very competitive team. Tennessee State, local team again. They'll bring a bunch of people up here for that match.
Definitely.
That one won't be quiet. Yeah, they're lined up. Lots of great opportunities. I won't need to say much to get them fired up for Notre Dame. I think their top couple guys are all nationally ranked. They're all top 20 American recruits. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, Notre Dame, it's a big-time
Yeah.
Power 5 team.
It's going to be exciting.
Well, Jimmy, we want to thank you for coming up and saying a couple of words with us, and congratulations on the win and the complete sweep for today, taking wins on every court. In every doubles match.
All right. So thanks so much, Sarah. Will see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a big win for these guys.
Yeah.
You know, seeing wins on every single court, that's got to be nice, especially on the ride out to Notre Dame, you know, knowing that nobody had a harsh Friday night.
And let's talk about our player of the day today, Francisco. I mean, what match. He had to play 3 sets.
The only 3-set match of the night.
The only 3-set match. And he came strong and he didn't give up and finished strong. And he's here today to talk to us.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, Francisco.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Hold on while
Just
we
one
get
second.
that microphone set up. We'd love to ask him a few questions. I think it should be good
Francisco,
now.
are you with us?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice, nice. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, Francisco, you dropped that first set. You know, you going against Perez. You dropped that first set 6-2, and then you reestablished yourself. You ended up taking the next set. You want to tell me what was in your mind? You know, what adjustments you were able to make that fix?
I mean, I think he played a very good first set, and credit to him. I was a little bit kind of sleeping a little bit, so I had to get a little bit more like fired up and start talking more to myself and trying to push myself and make me believe that I was playing well, which sometimes is very important to fake it, to make my mind believe that I'm doing a good job.
Definitely.
But what it matters is that I'm very happy that I changed the game in the second set, and I played 2 very good sets.
Yeah, you definitely did. And I wonder, did the fans help you at all, having such a crowd here today?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's complex. How do they help you?
I mean, I love to play with fans. I mean, I play tennis. I love to play tennis, but play tennis with fans is completely different. I just love the atmosphere. I love to play with the crowd, and here we're very lucky to have such a great crowd, and they completely help us win more and more.
Yeah, we're definitely lucky to be able to have fans back in the Adams Tennis Complex.
You know, we saw a bunch of rallies going on there in that last set. You know, back and forth, and they were going on quite a bit. Tell us about, you know, how you were able to finish out that third set where he started creeping stepping back, but after a while you put your foot back down on the gas and you were able to finish it out.
Yeah, I mean, he came up strong in the beginning of the third set. He tried to react, but at 3-2, I was able to hold serve, which was very important because we were breaking each other till that point. And then I hold serve and kind of made the statement that I was there to win the next games and finish the set. And I got the break again at 5-2, and he kind of was down a little bit, and I just put the foot on the gas and I kept going, and I finished the set.
Definitely, you did a great job. And how are you feeling about Notre Dame? I mean, you guys are getting ready to hit the road and travel to a big opponent. How are you feeling? Are you excited,
Oh.
nervous?
So excited. I wouldn't say nervous. I would say more excited because I think we want to go there. We want to get the win. Last weekend, unfortunately, we didn't get the win at Virginia Tech. But it's another type of these big games that we love to play. We're super fired up to go there. And on Sunday, I believe it's going to be a hell of a match.
Definitely, and that's great. Such a great mindset, not to be nervous at all, just excited.
Francisco,
We're definitely excited.
we want to thank you for joining us today, and good luck this weekend going up against Notre Dame, and we hope to see some great results.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Francisco had a great third set there.
Definitely.
Great second and third set. Falling behind a set is not easy. They may have already had the win, decided, but still, it's the matter of not losing. These guys are where they're at because they're competitive. You don't want to take a loss even if it's not going to matter on the university scale.
Because it all counts towards each of these players' statistics, and they want those wins under their belts, even if it doesn't matter technically for the win of the day.
Yep, and wrapping up for today's broadcast, we're going to go ahead and read off the final results for the singles matches. Of course, we won each court in the doubles match, taking all three courts. And for singles, on court number 1, we had Tom Moonen taking the first two sets, 6-1 and 6-4 against Nam Pham from Illinois State. Court number 2 was Stein Slump with a 6-2 and 6-0 win against Isakson. Then the court 3 was Francisco Rocha, who we saw finish it off in that third set. Fell the first set, 6-2, and then finished the next two, 6-1 and 6-2. And then court number 4, we had Chris Edge taking the win, 7-5 and 6-4. Court 5, Max Rauch taking down Shu 6-0 to 6-4. And then on the final court, that switch up from Pavel to Oscar. Oscar was able to finish 6-2 in the first set and 6-3 in the second.
Great day for the Blue Raiders.
That completes the sweep. That's a great night for the white and blue.
A great day of tennis.
But it looks like that's all we're going to have for today. And we want to thank MT Athletics for allowing us to stream these matches. And we also want to thank Adams Tennis Complex for helping make this possible. If you missed any of this match or previous matches, you can watch all of those right here on cusa.tv. Just click the MT logo and go on to the on-demand matches. And for the full schedule of men's and women's matches, visit middletennesseenews.net and click on our MTN Sports page. We'll be back we've got Sunday's matchup against Notre Dame. We will not have that live coverage for you. We'll be back on Saturday, the 20th, where your Blue Raiders take on the Lady Raiders take on UTC. For now, I'm Will Stevenson alongside Sarah Ottman. Thanks for watching MTN Sports coverage of Blue Raider tennis here on CUSA.TV. Thank you.